Hello everyone, this is BTX Mapping, or San Antonio Ball, and I'm going to be reacting to Shigaraki with Mahito, a death battle. So I haven't discussed it yet, but the death battle channel, I do also watch it, but I'm not as big of a fan of death battle as I am with country balls or object shows, but this show's still pretty cool, especially since I've seen both shows. I love My Hero Academia and JJK. So I'm going to have to watch, so I'm pretty excited for the death battle. Let's go. So I'm going to go with Shigaraki winning. I guess Mahito does have, I guess, a bit of advantages to help him win, but I think Shigaraki will win, honestly. Shigaraki is destroying an entire city, so my God, yeah. I'm recording right, yeah.
Shigaraki versus Mahito.
The symbol of fear versus the human disaster curse.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I also have to apologize for last time when I made when I reacted to Sudden Death episode 2. I'm sorry the microphone didn't pick up some stuff, but unfortunately I don't think I can do anything about that. Okay, so I'm sorry. You might just have to live with it. So yeah. Yeah. I like my laughter. Don't hear anything. From reacting to Sudden Death 2, if you didn't hear anything, it's because I was laughing so hard. Oh my God.
Tenko Shimura was just a sweet, shy boy who loved superheroes.
Yeah, Shigaraki's backstory is messed up. Look at My Hero Academia, and my God, season 6 of Shigaraki's backstory was messed up. Like, oh my God. Actually depressing.
But sometimes the hand of fate can't abide sweet shy boys.
Ruthlessly beaten and abused by his hero-hating father, Tenko pushed beyond his emotional limits until he activated his inherent superpower, or quirk.
It wasn't something cool like flight or super strength. In his terror, he accidentally killed his whole family. Well, except for dear old dad. That one was intentional.
Tenko wandered the
Okay, how do I get rid of this? Excuse me, dismiss, there you go.
streets alone, silently begging for someone, anyone, to help him. If only a hero was there to save him. But instead, the only open hand he found belonged to the devil.
All for one. The greatest supervillain in history.
He took Tenko under his wing, feeding a hatred of everyone and everything, and grooming him to one day lead his league of villains in destroying hero society.
With that came a new name, Tomura Shigaraki, and an absolutely nightmarish quirk, Decay. It does what it says on the tin. Anything Shiggy touches with all 5 fingers turns to dust. The perfect power for someone who just wants to destroy. Pretty menacing, if not for that dorky-ass costume. I get it, hands are his thing, but come on, they just look so dumb and fake.
Whoa, hold on, sorry. I forgot to read this. Decay applied through hands and feet, citywide range. Yeah. Disintegrates physical matter, disintegrates energy attacks. Okay, feet aura.
Oh, those aren't prosthetics. Those are real hands. From his family.
Yeah.
That he killed.
Yeah.
Attached to his face. And explicitly commanded to be left there by his mentor so that he would never forget his rage.
Okay.
While his use of Decay started off relatively weak, it rapidly increased in power and range as Shigaraki came into his own.
Decay isn't even limited to whatever he's touching. Anything that touches something he's decaying also decays.
Spreading like an all-consuming miasma that can wipe out anything from an enormous tower to an entire city.
If Decay reaches you, your only hope is to isolate the body part that is disintegrating before it gets to something vital.
After
Oh yeah. Yeah, but
years of training with the greatest supervillain
like as always, I had to cut off one of his legs.
of all time, Shigaraki was finally put in charge of his own team with one mission. He must kill his master's rival, the #1 hero, All Might.
Only to fall flat on his face.
Shigaraki was a terrible leader, quick-tempered, short-sighted, and, well...
Cringe! Oh, he's just so cringe. He uses gamer lingo unironically. He whines like a baby when things don't go his way. He's the kind of guy who would say normie in real life, in front of normies.
But they say defeat is the greatest teacher of all. Only through struggle could Shigaraki manifest his dark conviction.
Right as All Might's new protege, Izuku Midoriya, was coming into his own as well.
These two rivals...
I'm gonna try and pause a few times. Like, I'm gonna try to pause as few times as I can, just so I don't record longer than I want to. Okay, so yeah, it definitely happened with Double Down and Sudden Death. I never recorded much longer than I wanted to.
The inheritors of their master's blood feud would push themselves past their own limitations.
Especially when All Might and All for One double KO'd each other, leaving Shigaraki to lead the League of Villains all by himself.
And with the stakes higher than ever before, Shigaraki stepped up. He personally battled the monstrous Gigantomachia for a month and a half straight, and conquered other villain organizations to create the Paranormal Liberation Front. Thousands of new soldiers for his personal army.
All to impress All for One's personal quack, Dr. Ujiko, who spent months upgrading Shigaraki's body to make it more like his sensei's. It might have been constant agony, but Shiggy went from Chud to Chad.
Ujiko's experimentation vastly increased Shigaraki's strength, speed, and durability, enough to match and surpass even All Might's absurd power.
Not quirk, this is strength.
Sharing All Might's power between them, Deku and Bakugo were able to punch an island-sized hole in a cloud that reached 24 miles into the sky. We've calculated that before.
Oh yeah, right, this movie. Right, Deku Rasta, yeah. But yeah, what are the movies?
To be nearly 80 million megatons of TNT.
80 million. 80 trillion tons, Jesus Christ. Unless that's teratons, but okay.
Almost as much
Oh, Faye! Object filler again? Cool! Object filler again, it's nice.
as the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs.
And Shigaraki can now move fast enough that his body produces hypersonic shockwaves and can even catch laser beams.
And he's tough enough to survive Star and Stripes Intercontinental Ballistic Cruise Punch. Now the new name for my penis. Move over, gigantic Omega Storm. Anyway, it also made a blast
Well, last name in Hulk was Bully. Okay, yeah.
so big it showed up against the curvature of the Earth.
Though he might seem invincible, when Shigaraki's body is pushed hard enough, he will evolve into a state of uncontrollable power.
So Decay became, oh shit, more hands.
Shigaraki can spontaneously generate flesh into existence,
That's gross. That's actually gross. Oh god.
seemingly oceans of it in an instant, whenever he wants. He can even use it as a type of armor to defend himself in close combat.
But that's nothing compared to Ujiko's greatest gift. Shigaraki wanted to be the new All for One, so what better way than the old man's quirk?
All for One's quirk, All for One, allows its user to steal and store quirks with just a touch.
And All for One has hundreds of them stored up, collected over the years.
Each quirk is connected to a memory of its user's essence in the form of a spirit, a vestige.
Okay, hold on. Though created from biological quirk factors, vestiges are described as being souls and spirits. It is even remarked to them. Hold on, let's scratch a little bit. Okay. It even remarked that the vestige of all my when fraud becomes more clear. Oh my god, get out of here! Marked the vestige of all my when fraud becomes more clear, they get closer to death. Okay. Okay, before you wake up, we gotta have a chat.
Kinda like a piece of their soul.
You're gonna hear me sometimes, but if you're gonna hear me sometimes, I'm sorry, okay? But I feel like if I move the mic a little bit too close to me, it's probably not gonna it's probably gonna pick up some stuff if the mic's a little too close. So.
They exist in this kinda psychic world in Shigaraki's body, and can even act as a spiritual defense should it be invaded.
And with those vestiges came quirks, like super fast
Air cannon, danger sense, flight, heavy payload, radio waves, reflect, scatter, search, spring-like limbs, super regeneration, telekinesis, vestiges, warping, and many more.
healing, air blast, radio waves, flight, telekinesis, teleportation of others, and the ability to track foes.
He can even combine multiple quirks together, like in this big-ass electric Kamehameha.
Yeah.
However, any
Shigaraki stole danger sense from Deku, specifically by stealing the vestige of Higaki Shinomori rather than the quirk factor, proving that the two are linked.
vestige stolen or destroyed will also remove that quirk from Shigaraki's repertoire. They're also sentient, and some can even fight for control.
Which is when the second shoe finally dropped. Because Shigaraki also got All for One's vestige, that means All for One was now in possession of a shiny new body that he'd spent the last 15 years molding for him to take over.
Shigaraki's entire existence was planned from the beginning. Why? Because All Might's previous mentor was Nana Shimura, Tanko's grandmother.
Oh, that's a mess.
Destroy Deika City. Fought Gigantomachia for 1.5 months. Wow. Got laser beams. Proved by legitimacy of the Quark Singularity Doomsday Theory. Could the kill of Japan in a week. Far stronger than All Might. Defeated Redestro, Stars and Stripes, Razorhead, Mirko, and Bakugo. Well, yeah. It's Star and Stripe, but okay, not Stars and Stripes, right?
With All Might, that is some next level hating right there.
He manipulated Shigaraki's entire life, all for one purpose: to create a soul so corrupted it would grind away at All Might's perfect world, allowing All for One to take full control.
But All for
Purpose: to create a soul so corrupted it would grind away at All Might's perfect world, allowing All for
How long have I recorded for? 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. I got too bad.
One to take full control.
But
Wait, only I can pause this recording. Only I can pause this recording. I could on my old phone. Oh my goodness.
All for One's possession wasn't complete, and Shiggy managed to fight his way back to the top.
Oh my goodness, no, get out of here.
Literally
Allowing All for One to take full control.
To become the world's arbiter, its very own demon lord.
But All for One's possession
It seems there is a component that hasn't quite melded.
wasn't complete, and Shiggy managed to fight his way back to the top. Literally decaying.
Allowing All for One to take full control.
But All for One's possession wasn't complete, and Shiggy managed to fight his way back to
Bit without you noticing, I started reclaiming myself from the inside out.
the top, literally decaying his way through vestiges in the process, all to fight his rival Deku one last time.
Despite Izuku's best efforts to save him, Shigaraki was too far gone. His spirit decayed by years of venomous hatred.
And the new symbol of hope defeated the new symbol of fear, burying All for One's grudge for good.
All that Shigaraki asked was to be remembered as the heartless destroyer he was raised to be, and not the broken, angry, crying little boy he really was deep inside.
For just that one moment, though, Shiggy got in Deku the only thing he'd been
Way home to you. What's to blame? Huh?
denied his whole life, the one thing his lifelong nihilistic tantrum was really all about.
Driver notifications.
He got a hero who tried to save him.
Wow. Yep.
This battle is sponsored by Robin Hood Gold.
Nope.
Man's Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Is that, nope.
Ever since Cain slew his brother Abel and wetted his fields with his blood, man's greatest fear has been his fellow man.
But what if this fear took on a life of its own?
What if all that negative emotion humans felt for one another spilled from their bodies and congealed, forming, over time, a living being fueled by malice, which believes in nothing but the law of the jungle?
Well, then you'd have the special grade curse with the patch face, Mahito. Oh, I've had people tell me I've become a human disaster curse when I've had too many mojitos.
Mahito is one of the deadliest beings
AKA Patchface, a few months old. 5'11". Damn, that's like the Furret from Pokemon. That's like the Pokemon Furret. Okay. Register. Don't go see the Register Hypercam 2. Registered Special Grade Curse, leader of the Disaster Curses. Fan of J.R.R. Tolkien. Name means true person who lives in the society.
to ever afflict mankind. He's no mere mortal, though, but a cursed spirit. Innumerable spirits exist, weaker or stronger,
Grade 2, even a tank might be useless.
depending on the amount of anxieties,
Pain, regret, humiliation, and more people dwell on bad memories. Okay.
jealousies, hatreds, and fears humans feel about them.
Like the fear of locusts, kinda weak. Or the fear of smallpox, getting stronger. Or the fear of fire. Oh, goodbye, Tokyo.
So it follows that
There are spirits known as special grade potential spirits. 6 times.
mankind's fear of itself would be extremely powerful. Those negative emotions manifest as Mahito, a being composed of cursed energy.
It's basically like evil ki. Cursed energy can be used to make spirits way stronger, faster, and tougher than any normal human. And it's invisible, making
Cursed spirits are usually invisible to the naked eye.
curses like Mahito impossible for the untrained.
To live within the wavelengths of his... Right, this thing, yeah. I know this thing from the opening. They exist in the wavelengths of visible light, but the brain cannot recognize them, and cameras cannot capture them. They are forms of a second light.
Eye to see, only a life or death situation can galvanize a normal person
Being when facing death or in a special place like this. Normally you can't see.
to see a cursed spirit.
That also makes cursed spirits virtually immune to
Curse can only be exercised by another curse.
physical damage. They may be physically present in space.
Curse physiology, superhuman physicality, partial invulnerability, invisibility, combat adaptability. I like the word ability in them. Curse energy, auto-generative reserves, black flash, barrier technique, curtain, and binding valves. Got it.
But can only be harmed by attacks that embody spirit matter like cursed energy.
Which makes curses insanely hard to get rid of, like ghosts, cockroaches, or my ex. That's why you need a jujutsu sorcerer to come in and kaizen the shit out of them. They call it exorcism, but I like the way I said it better.
Curses and sorcerers have battled each other for millennia, waging an endless war over the fate of humanity. Almost
These phenomena are mostly only observable by the Japanese population.
exclusively in Japan, though, for some reason.
But Mahito was special. You see, most curses are basically dumb animals. But Mahito has so much cursed energy that it gave him sentience.
So he was recruited by Kenjaku alongside other special grade disaster curses to wreak
Alright, Zoidberg against. Well, what is like a Zoidberg looking thing and a Cyclops?
havoc upon the world. In fact, they made Mahito their leader.
Propped about.
But Mahito has so much cursed energy that it gave him sentience.
So he was recruited by Kenjaku alongside other special grade disaster curses to wreak havoc upon the world. In fact,
So you propped him up as a leader. Oh, yeah.
they made Mahito their leader.
And even more frightening than intelligence and bloodlust, Mahito possessed philosophy.
Perhaps informed by the tragic meaninglessness of interhuman conflict, Mahito is an existential nihilist, believing in nothing but his own will to power. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and Mahito is the wolf.
Which also makes him kind of a goofball. If nothing matters, why not have fun with the slaughter? Really
Yeah.
get your steps in. He loves to dig around and toy with your emotions like a cartoon character before slitting your throat.
An appropriate analogy considering his curse technique, idol transfiguration.
Using his cursed energy, Mahito can control anyone's soul with just a touch, including his own. In fact, he's so good at manipulating his own soul that you can't even kill the bastard without directly targeting it.
In Jujutsu Kaisen, the soul
So she always exists before the body. Oh, hold on. According to principle Yaga, one can replicate a soul and its information from the information of the body, such as how you create Panda. Right? Yeah, Panda. Panda who gets born of the talking panda.
and the body share an immutable connection. Whatever happens to the former affects the latter.
This lets
That's what that means. Former, ladder. What do you mean by that?
Mahito squash, stretch, and shape-shift his body into...
I know all about squashing and stretching. Trust me, yeah. As an animator, I know all about that. Squash and stretch. As an animator, yep. Soul manipulation, transfiguration, soul manipulation, shifting for defense. So wow. Reshaping his soul and bodies of opponents. Reshaping his soul's fixed image. How long have I been recording? 18 minutes. What? Is that why I said to pause as few times as possible? Reshaping the soul and bodies of opponents. Reshaping his soul to fixed image. Cloning. Soul multiplicity. Body repel. Domain expansion. Self-embodiment of perfection. Point 2. Second variation. Instant body of distorted killing. Enhanced physicality. Exoskeleton with blades.
Literally anything he wants, like Play-Doh. He can turn his limbs into blades or clubs, grow wings like a bird or fins like a fish, reform his body around injuries, or even create clones.
Curse users are naturally unharmed by their own ability. Should he touch a human, though, his alterations to their body are instantly fatal.
And since he's attacking your soul, those physical wounds are gonna be impossible to heal.
Even if his alteration isn't directly fatal, the human body won't last more than a few moments in a transfigured state.
All that with one touch!
Oh yeah, Kugisaki died. Well, yeah, I forgot. Kugisaki died, right.
And I thought herpes was bad.
His powers mean Mahito treats humans as effectively disposable dolls that he can gleefully experiment on. The more casualties, the better, especially if he gets to break your spirit first and watch you suffer.
Even more twisted is when he combines two transfigured humans together for soul multiplicity, essentially a giant torrent of body horror flesh that he repels at an opponent. Ugh.
Mahito is unbelievably creative with his application of idol transfiguration, and despite being a newborn curse, consistently keeps experienced sorcerers on the back foot.
It helps that he's a quick study who's picked up a number of different curse techniques, like the Black Flash.
By applying cursed energy within 1
When the impact of cursed
microsecond of
microsecond, wow. The impact of cursed energy is applied within 0.000. Wow. Critical hit. A distortion in space is born.
an impact with an enemy, space itself will distort, exponentially amplifying
You go normal hits power.
its force by a factor of 2.5.
Yeah.
Not only does this hurt like a mother, it restores your curse technique and gets you fully in the zone.
And would require reflexes moving nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound.
Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Mahito. I mean, Mahito. I was wrong. Mahito might have a chance. I don't know, but Shigaraki can destroy the entire city with his decay. We'll see. I'm still saying Shigaraki, but man, Mahito's strong.
It's no surprise then that Mahito also unlocked the pinnacle of sorcerer techniques, the Domain Expansion.
Oh shit! More hands! A domain is like a barrier of cursed energy, but if you're caught inside, Mahito can use idol transfiguration instantly without even needing to touch you.
It's called the self-embodiment of perfection, the ultimate expression of Mahito's absolute control over his victim's body and soul. The only time it ever failed was against the student sorcerer and Mahito's archenemy, Yuji Itadori.
Because not only was Yuji a barf-inducing goody little two-shoes who believed in the inalienable rights of all living things, blah, 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 he also had a curse inside of him.
The king of curses, Sukuna.
Which meant Mahito's ability affected both souls in Yuji's body. Sukuna didn't like that. No surprise, and kicked Mahito's ass, forcing Patchface to fight with a handicap whenever facing his pink-haired menace.
Yuji's belief in the value of human life flew directly in the face of the world that Mahito knew to be cruel and meaningless. So he made it his mission to crush Yuji's spirit before killing him, murdering his friends, defiling their corpses, and brutally battering him before going in for the kill.
And he's got the strength to do it. Mahito's one of the most powerful curses in the world, and his growth is exponential.
Fellow disaster curse.
Hold on. Right, Cyclops guy, yeah. Other side materials such as Curse Slash and Phantom Parade show that Mahito is relative to his fellow disaster curses in sparring sessions. Gage has also said that Jogo would die to the 5 black flashes from Yuji. Mahito can survive several from both him and Toto. Wow. Yeah, Toto. I remember Toto. I love Toto. I love Toto. Toto's a great character. I gotta watch JJK and My Academia. Maybe JJK first just gets much shorter for now. Only 2 seasons. For now, only 2 seasons.
First, Jogo was able to summon a massive meteor capable of reducing the city of Shibuya to ash.
That'd take an energy of over 800 kilotons of TNT.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And Mahito can take as good as he can give.
Wait.
Especially when, in the throes of struggle against Yuji, he evolved, unlocking a vastly more powerful form, the instant body of distorted killing.
Complete with armored exoskeleton and arm blades.
Well, okay. Landed a black flash in a microsecond. Then figured out that he was in Shibuya. Survived withstanding Gojo's unlimited void for 0.2 seconds. My god, okay. Take numerous black flashes from Yuji and Toto. Slam Yuji and crater to ground. Defeat Nanami, Ultimate Mekamoto, Noburo, Toto. I just have seen the show, but look, he only has 2 seasons as of now, right? So I know all of this, okay? I haven't read the manga, alright?
This was a taste of the almighty curse Mahito was growing into, a true blight on all mankind.
It wouldn't last. In a bitter battle of resolve, Yuji won out. In a dog-eat-dog world, there was now a bigger wolf.
So he tucked tail and ran away like a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
What do you
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that, yeah.
know? Life suddenly became a whole lot more meaningful the second it looked like it was about to end.
Smiling friends! Smiling friends! Let's go for the smiling friends, yo! Smiling friends!
All that gleeful nihilism, just a bitter hypocrisy in the end.
For him, maybe, but Mahito found a convert in his archenemy. After a battle that wiped out thousands of innocent people, Yuji's youthful spirit was gone. The only thing left that mattered was exorcising this curse.
In a way, that was Mahito's final victory, the destruction of another human being's soul. He may not have been around to see it, but the curse Mahito inflicted on the world would bring it to its knees.
Yeah, Mahito definitely does have a chance, but I'm gonna say Shigaraki, okay? Might be close though, but man. Okay.
Hey, do you see that? Sending us your own matchup ideas. And the support helps us make even more Death Battle. So thank you for being a champion.
Okay.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Yeah. I think I got any ads watching Sudden Death. You know, I don't think I did. I did for Double Down. I got ads watching Double Down, but I edited them out. So yeah, I edited out the ads and when I get to Double Down. Oh! Already! Oh! It's already happened.
I'd heard of a powerful villain stalking these parts. My organization is going to tear this putrid world down around us.
But that could happen in JJK. Yuji Todori actually does fight, Season 2, Yuji Todori does fight Mahito in an underground train station like this. So, that's accurate.
We could use a freak of your talents.
Little old me. Do I want to be king of the social rejects? How about I bring them your head instead?
Fine by me. Let's call this your audition. Sick 'em.
Momo!
Game over.
Did you actually just say that? God, how lame!
Oh my god! No, this Nick gets up again! Double team! Oh!
Audition over.
Did I get the part?
Decay! What a rush!
Oh!
That all you got?
Domain expansion. I can read your soul. You're just a scared little boy whose daddy is mean and wants to make it everyone else's problem. Grow up.
Off one? Off one.
Masterpiece.
Oh, there it is!
Your soul too. You only hate humanity because you were born that way. Totally random.
He's running away now! Why is he just running away now?
I hate them for a reason.
Oh no! His head came off! head came off.
You grow up.
Oh! Yo! That was sick!
What did I say, Wiz? Like a bitch.
With their complex power set,
Yeah, I know. I've been thinking that too. Like he's running away? Oh my goodness.
this match was a puzzle to figure out, which is why we're breaking it down to 3 categories: physical stats, survivability, and their powers.
But first, let's address one thing. Could Shigaraki even see Mahito? He's an invisible curse after all.
Cursed energy and quirks are notably different, and Shigaraki wouldn't be able to see curses normally. However, even regular humans can spontaneously develop the ability to see curses in life and death scenarios. And with the Surge quirk,
Oh my goodness, okay. That was amazing, I loved it. Are invisible due to existing on a different spectrum of light when normal people can speak. Extrasensory abilities like Shigaraki do not rely on visible light would be unimpeded. Unimpeded? Is that how you say it?
Shigaraki would have had no problem tracking it.
So seeing Mahito wouldn't have been an issue. With that out of the way, we can jump into their stats.
This was no contest.
Oh, Mahito. Oh, that panda? Wow. To continuously scale to Mai and Yozuru construction techniques due to his status and special great disaster curse. But he's still not surpassed Shigaraki's strength. Yeah. He's running away too.
Despite the disaster curses being able to destroy entire cities with their cursed energy, Shigaraki's scaling to Deku and Bakugo meant he was calculably millions of times stronger.
He was faster too.
Mahito could potentially scale to realistic. Mahito could potentially scale to relativistic and light speed feats from JJK's final arc. Just keeping up with Toto, but he still has to pass Shigaraki's speed. Oh.
Considering he could react to light beams, while Mahito's Black Flash capped out at nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound. Nothing to scoff at, but Shiggy was thousands of times faster. Shigaraki takes stats.
But survivability was a little trickier to figure out.
Yep, in terms of raw durability, Shigaraki was a lot tougher, and his ability to generate new flesh meant that he could heal any wounds he might receive.
Okay, well. Transfiguration's unique ability to nullify regeneration. How long are we recording? What? Okay. Nah. Transfiguration's unique ability to nullify regeneration, like reverse curse technique, is predicated on a damaging soul. Mahito would not a certain and directly target from super regeneration vestige. Therefore, he cannot stop Shigaraki from healing bodily injuries.
Mahito is a curse, and is immune to the kind of overwhelming physical damage Shigaraki could dish out. Not only that, Mahito's regenerative ability via idle transfiguration meant that he'd come back from anything short of spiritual damage.
Considering Mahito's unique curse body, he should actually get the edge in survivability.
Which presents a crucial question. Could Shigaraki even kill a curse like Mahito in the first place?
Or would Mahito's unkillability give him the time he needed to eventually put Shiggy down with idle transfiguration?
It all comes down to their powers.
Shigaraki had a lot more variety with all of the crazy quirks All For One had collected over all the years, but none that we know of could properly kill a curse. That didn't mean idle transfiguration was a surefire bet either, though.
Of all things,
Shigaraki survived multiple one-for-all transfer attacks from Deku, which directly attacked his soul and reflect identical damage on the body, just like idle transfiguration. Body evolves to counter these punches automatically. Damn, it's not.
These vestiges served as a spiritual shield from the effects of idle transfiguration. The fact that Mahito could not avoid targeting Sukuna while attacking Yuji meant that he couldn't target specific souls inside a person.
And Shiggy has hundreds of soul-like entities inside of him. Sure, each one down means he loses a quirk, but that's more than enough time to land a single hit with Decay, especially considering how much faster Shiggy is.
And Mahito has no way to defend against Shigaraki's primary quirk.
Well, okay. Shigaraki cannot target spiritual matter. Nanami states that a curse like Mahito would still die after expending. What do you mean expanding or like actually expending? This is a sort of grammar mistake. Or are they actually supposed to say that? All of their cursed energy, giving Shigaraki massive physical advantages, personal abilities, and proven 45-day stamina versus Gigantomakia. Yeah. He easily wins the far of attrition. Yeah. A war of attrition, sorry.
Decay has affected spiritual beings in the past. Again, vestiges. In fact, he was able to damage Deku's vestige and have that damage transferred to the Deku in the real world.
Mahito may be made of spirit energy, but he still has a physical form. In fact, sorcerer.
Shigaraki's soul is additionally shielded by a barrier of pure hatred. Distinct from the soul itself, idle transfiguration has been blocked by Nanami's cursed energy. We get more from negative emotions like hatred.
That couldn't naturally target the soul were able to fight him on even footing. No reason to think Shiggy.
Transfiguration allowed Mahito to separate parts of his body affected by decay before its effects spread. However, Shigaraki's overwhelming speed advantage, he cannot do so.
Wouldn't decay him like everyone else,
giving Shigaraki the third and final edge. It was a unique duel.
He's far stronger, larger arsenal, and array of powers that just protects from idle transfiguration. Just to remove one of his quirks, inferior regeneration. Mahito regeneration made him clearly nearly impossible to kill. He could target his soul and kill him. Far from weaker, couldn't individually target Shigaraki's soul. Yeah, all he runs away. All he was running away too.
To the death, but Shigaraki's overwhelming might, unstoppable powers, and deadly decay spelled the end for the disaster curse.
Nothing else to say. You really gotta hand it to Shigaraki.
The winner is Tomura Shigaraki.
Yeah, gotta hand it to him. I was gonna be able to hear this, but ow. Okay, but yeah, those are like cheesy and insanity. Crap, ow, that hurt.
Next time on Death Battle.
Subscribe and join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Let's give it a Doomsayer! Yo! Let's give it a Doomsayer, alright! Okay, yeah. Let's give it a Doomslayer! Alright, so. Yeah, let's give it a Doomslayer. Alright, guys, so yeah, that was, that was him. Okay, no. Okay, no. That looks creepy. I was saying, that was the Shigaraki versus Mahito. Pretty fun death battle. Probably my first video that's actually not object show. First that's not object show or Crunchyroll related. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a pretty fun video to make. So. It was a really sick fight, and oh my god, that was amazing. I love this. I hope I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna try to finish my next video. I'm trying to finish my next video. I'm actually really close to finishing my next video. So, I'll hopefully we'll do it before episode 2 of Double Down comes out, but if not, then still, I'll thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time in my next video.